Hi everybody, it's Nick. I hope you're well on this incredibly beautiful day. I'm very blessed to be enjoying out in the garden in the countryside. The reason I wanted to vlog is because I had a bit of an epiphany this morning. It's probably the deepest and most meaningful one I've had since I've been in lockdown for over a couple of months now. And it just goes to show that sitting with yourself is, sorry, you probably hear my cockerels in the background, is you know, it's a patient, lengthy process. But I was reading The Code of the Extraordinary Mind yesterday by Vishen, can't remember his second name, the founder of Mind Valley, and it's a very, very interesting book, well worth a read. And I also read the book Gary Rousseau wrote in conjunction with his cousin, which was about I can't remember the exact words, but don't die with the song unsung, and really just allowing myself to go with the flow yesterday. I think I guess being in lockdown is difficult for everybody for all kinds of different reasons, and I think the last few days I've definitely found myself stopping the fight with it and just kind of going with the flow. And the way that I've done that is I just think about the next step, and I don't think any further than that. And actually, that just thinking about the next steps really enabled me to take a lot more steps than I thought I could. So the first step is just getting out of bed, the next step is making a cup of tea, the next step is having a shower. And when I get up, I don't think about the fact that I'm either going to run or walk with the kids and the dogs. That's because that's several steps further on. But I found it's a really, really useful technique that's really helped. And yesterday, I was in that kind of, I just go with the flow and focus on stuff. And I for whatever reason, I do intuitively just let myself be drawn to a book, and that was the book I was drawn to yesterday, and I really got into it. And I got up this morning, and I was sat looking, I was having a cup of tea on the daybed outside looking at our cottage, and I thought, oh my God, they say your external environment reflects your inner. And it's so true of our home, because if you look at our home, I just surround it and cover it in so many beautiful, beautiful things. It's untrue, and I'm incredibly drawn to beauty, physical things, emotional, spiritual feeling, all kinds of things. Beauty's in the beholder's eye, isn't it? But when I was having a good look at the cottage this morning, I was just looking up and I thought, but actually it's all superficial stuff, and there's so much that this poor cottage needs, like the guttering's been leaking, and therefore some of the windows have started to rot, and some of the grouting needs redoing, and all of this stuff it's pity, it's boring, and it's stuff that nobody really wants to engage with, but it's absolutely critical to the foundation and to the sustainability of the cottage. And it's the stuff that really matters, because if that cottage is watertight and it's safe and it's not rotting, it will keep us warm, and it will provide a home to nourish us and to look after us. And this thing hit me all of a sudden. It really slapped me in the face. I went, oh my God, it's just a reflection of you, really, isn't it, Nick? Because over the last few days I've been thinking a lot about the fact people say in lockdown they're saving loads of money. Well, I haven't saved loads of money. In actual fact, I've probably spent just as much, if not more, because I'm still using money in just different ways to distract myself, to be honest. And I've always had this quite toxic relationship with money, and I think I was just getting to the I just so don't understand the triggers and the story behind it. And I think that's why I just went off yesterday and read a book, and just, I think it was Einstein said that you can't solve a problem if you I can't remember the exact words, remain at the same level of the problem. And I think that's very true of my relationship with money, and it really hit me squarely in the face, having taken time out yesterday and just gone with the flow and done stuff. I spend all of my time and energy a lot of my time and energy on the superficial stuff, buying stuff that doesn't really matter, doesn't really make any fundamental difference to the parts of me that actually need my attention and need healing. And I've been doing the same with the house, and they often say that your environment reflects the inner stuff that's going on within you. And there was something that really dropped for me this morning, and it really made me think about what was really important. And what I'm going to do as an exercise every day from today, doesn't matter how little it is, just one step each day, is I'm going to carry out one activity, even if it's just tiny, which actually works on the foundations of my cottage. you know, whether it be, you know, filling in part of a rotten window, painting something, whatever it is, working on the stuff that, you know, we don't want to see, that, you know, is a bit boring and a bit pissy, and, you know, it's not really the sparkly, enjoyable stuff, because there's just something intuitively that I think if I do that in a physical sense, maybe it will help me find a way to be able to do it in a more internal sense, because I think I just think there's a real mirroring going on there. And I guess I wanted to share that because I think it's really the first really deep and meaningful thing that I can truly say I feel I've got to. I think before this point, everything, you know, has been about anxiety and frustration, and, you know, letting go of the way, you know, the more egotistical way that we live. This is probably quite deep, isn't it? But I wanted to share those thoughts because they might resonate with somebody else somewhere. Sending you really much love. Take care. Bye.